What's up, y'all? What's going on? Your boy Chingy.
Chingy's catchy songs dominated the airwaves in the early 2000s. Sadly, rumors about his personal life, public feuds, and the loss of loved ones put a strain on his career. Here's what really happened to Chingy. Howard Bailey Jr. was born on March 9, 1980 in St. Louis's North Side in an area called Walnut Park. Chingy told XXL the area is infested with criminal activities and, quote, suffering little kids who don't have families. He grew up in his maternal grandmother's house, sharing the two-bedroom space with up to a dozen relatives, including his 4 siblings. He told the magazine they didn't have any money while growing up, even though his mom worked and his dad was a hustler. According to Rolling Stone magazine, Chingy began writing lyrics at the age of 8, and by the time he turned 10, he started recording his battle raps. While he was perfecting his rhyme skills, his parents split up and he bounced around between various homes. At the age of 12, he was sent to a juvenile detention center for stealing a car. After spending a month locked up, he said he knew behind bars wasn't a place he wanted to be. In his early teenage years, he linked up with a neighborhood friend and started a rap group called LSD. At the time, he went by the rap name H Thugsy and would perform at local talent shows. He told XXL there weren't too many people on the St. Louis hip-hop scene, so his group was able to garner a lot of attention. In between working at a local Burger King, he continued to practice his rap skills while also attending McClure North High School. He eventually adopted the moniker Chingy, and LSD brought in a third group member before changing their group name to Without Warning. When he was 16, Chingy also began writing the hook and first verse of a song that would later become Right There. But it would take a few more years before the world could fall in love with the finished product. In 1996, the trio signed to a local startup label. They put together a CD of their songs and hit the road. Without a lot of financial backing, they found themselves performing in interesting places, including Alaska. Eventually, the group decided to part ways. At the age of 17, he became a dad for the first time. He earned his high school diploma in 1999 and did some small-time hustling and worked odd jobs to pay the bills. He started another group called 3 Strikes with 2 guys he knew since childhood. The group caught the attention of fellow St. Louis rapper Nelly, who was experiencing success with his Country Grammar album. In 2002, Nelly asked 3 Strikes to open up for him on tour. Chingy told the LA Times he learned a few things from being on tour with Nelly, but he had already developed his own style by that point. After 3 Strikes broke up, T-Love, the manager of Nelly's St. Lunatics crew, got Chingy in contact with hip-hop producers STARZ, and Chingy was signed to a production deal. STARZ told Chingy they had a beat for him. As soon as the music dropped, Chingy told them, "I have something for that." He retrieved the lyrics for Right There that he had written a few years prior, and the rest is history. STARZ then got in contact with the CEO of Ludacris's record label Disturbing the Peace, and after playing some of Chingy's songs for him, the rapper was signed. In 2003, Right There was released. Everyone was drawn to Chingy's accent, and the song landed at the number 2 spot on the Billboard Hot 100. The song got even more popular when the music video was released, and everyone was doing the chicken head dance thanks to Chingy. The album Jackpot was released in 2003, and thanks to Right There, One Call Away featuring Jason Weaver, and Holiday Inn featuring Ludacris and Snoop Dogg, Chingy sold more than 3 million copies of the album, and it was certified double platinum. At the 2003 Billboard Awards, he was an onstage presenter and was also nominated for 2 awards. He told Hot New Hip Hop that despite winning both awards, his category was never announced during the event. Instead, Billboard mailed his awards to his house. Chingy was disappointed and said, "They destroyed a kid's dream." It was his first taste of how shady the industry was. In 2004, Chingy abruptly left DTP due to allegations of mismanagement and claims that he hadn't received royalty payments. Chingy also experienced issues with his crosstown rival Nelly. They exchanged diss tracks, including Chingy's track We Got, where he raps, "It's hip-hop, boy, this ain't pop, boy. The streets is really where I'm from and you not, boy." Nelly released a statement via XXL telling Chingy, "You've got to watch what you're saying unless you mean what you're saying, then that's cool too." Nelly also mentioned that even after all the back and forth between them, Chingy had reached out to him and asked to go on tour. With his old label in his rearview mirror and his beefs around the industry growing more and more, Chingy started his own recording company called Slot-A-Lot Records under Capitol Records. His second album, Powerballin', was released in 2004. The album sold over 127,000 copies in the first 2 weeks. The single Balla Baby landed at number 1 on the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop chart. Proving that he could release successful back-to-back albums, he set his sights on the film industry. In 2005, he appeared on television shows including My Wife and Kids and Punk'd. And 2006 got even better for him. He made a cameo in the film Scary Movie 4 and welcomed his second child. Chingy released his third album, Hood Star, in September 2006. He told Billboard the single Pullin' Me Back featuring Tyrese was inspired by his relationship. It hit the number 1 spot on the R&B charts. However, the next single, entitled Dem Jeans featuring Jermaine Dupri, only peaked at number 24. The album was certified gold, but it wasn't as successful as his first 2 records. He blamed the lackluster album on issues with Capitol Records, so he made the decision to leave the label. After realizing that Ludacris and his company really didn't mismanage his funds after all, he went back to DTP Records. In 2007, his 4th album, Hate It or Love It, was released. A bunch of big names in the industry were featured on the album, including Ludacris, Bobby Valentino, Rick Ross, and Trey Songz. But the album only sold 30,000 copies in the first week, and it stalled at the number 84 spot. After that disappointing performance, he decided to leave DTP again. He changed his label name from Slot-A-Lot Records to Full Deck Music. He took off for a few years before releasing a mixtape. He also announced he was working on his 5th album entitled No Risk, No Reward, but due to lack of funding, the album never saw the light of day. He found himself at the center of an interesting rumor in 2010 as well. A transgender woman named Sydney Starr released these photos of her and Chingy together. She also claimed they had an intimate relationship. Chingy denied the allegations and said she was only a fan, but no one really believed him. Sydney Starr later admitted she took the pictures with Chingy 2 years prior, and she only released them after her friends told her that concocting a scandal could help launch her career. She apologized to Chingy for spreading the rumor, but the damage had already been done. In an interview with Vlad TV, Chingy blamed not only Sydney Starr, but people who believed and spread the rumor without any evidence. He said he lost a deal because of the bad publicity. He also thought he had been blackballed by the industry, and many of his friends in the music business stopped associating with him too. Even though he had gone through so much, he still found it in his heart to forgive Sydney for damaging his career. For the next few years, he released several mixtapes, had a 3rd child, and appeared on Couples Therapy with his then-girlfriend Temple. He also told Hot New Hip Hop he got a degree in astrology and cosmology from the University of Commission Sciences. He said, while other people were focused on smoking, drinking, and quote, ignorant things, he was too busy learning more about the world. He was ready to get back into making more music, but in 2017, he lost his auntie, his mother, and a few cousins. He told STL Today that trying to make music during those hard times was the most difficult thing for him. In 2018, he announced to Billboard he was working on an album called Frequency, but as of this video, it has yet to be released. But there was some good news for Chingy fans in 2019 when he joined B2K's Millennium Tour. Chingy continues to release songs and still performs in smaller venues, but he's apprehensive about diving back into the industry. In an interview with Medium.com, he said in the past he was too trustworthy. He said, "You think people have your best interest at heart, but they are only concerned about how it benefits them." There was once a time when he had more money than he knew what to do with, and a global platform of eager fans. As an independent artist, he said it's hard for him to get the airplay he deserves on streaming sites that are, quote, in bed with record companies. Either way, he has learned to enjoy all the moments in his life, the ups and the downs. He said, "The money doesn't drive me. Making music motivates me to pursue my passion." Let us know if you're surprised by what happened to Chingy's career, and thanks for watching Real Reality Gossip.